Hi, I'm Siobhan, wife, educator, and a sister. Welcome to Table Talk, where you'll be able to find practical everyday uses with resources here on this channel. It is a beautiful summer day, and what I need from you, my sister, I need you to go outside with the kiddos with chalk. Make it a throwback moment. Lock the door so they can't sneak back inside. Tell them, come on outside. We're going to do something fun. Bust that chalk out. It is too beautiful of a day to not be out in the sun. So I'm excited about today's table talk session. We're going to be talking about tic-tac-toe and how you can use this old school game to get your kid wanting to learn. I believe in teaching through engagement and doing fun activities. Even in my regular classroom, I try to find whatever way to make it stick, make it where the kids are engaged and they are excited about learning. I was teaching a summer camp a couple of weeks ago, really about 2 weeks ago, before I started my actual break. Again, I'm an educator, so today's session is geared towards the kids. But anyway, so the kids were there at school, and instead of them having to be in the classroom, sitting in their seats, I wanted to give them a chance to move and be mobile. And so we went outside, and the kids were so excited coming to the classroom. They're like, what are we doing today? I know you have something planned. So that's what's in store for our educational moments. I'm going to be sharing some cool games that you can do with your child, with the student, with a person that you may be even mentoring, whether it be in the church, in your neighborhood, whoever, at a family cookout, you can do it. So let's go. Tic-tac-toe. So how it works, and I will insert it so you will see the kids actually participating and playing in the activity. Basically, we take the chalk outside, but before we've gone outside, we've actually gone over the concept of whatever we're working on. Let's just say, for instance, and I'll have a diagram of this. Let's just say, for instance, we were working on the alphabet. So if you have a child that's below 4 years old, you want to definitely be going over the alphabetic sounds and making sure they have a good foundation in phonics. So let's say you were at home and you've been working on their letters. You would take chalk and you would write letters inside of the squares. So I'm going to give you an example of what I mean, and not in order necessarily. You want it to be random because what you're doing is just checking to see how your kid's doing or how the kid you're working with is doing. So outside, you would take chalk, and of course, you're not going to write on the notepad, you're going to be writing on the cement, but this is just so you understand what I'm saying. So you would give the chalk to the child um, if they're able to write their letters. So they're not only practicing writing their letters, but they're also connecting their handwriting motion with their processing in their mind. So it's like you're doing multiple things and allowing them to write it. If they cannot write it, like you have a 3-year-old or 4-year-old necessarily, because even in kindergarten, they can still practice this skill. But if they're like 3 or 4, not quite confident with the hand motion, which they probably will not be, then you would write the letters down for them. Okay? So after you wrote the letters down in the chalk and you made the tic-tac-toe board, it's simple. You ask the child to pick a spot. Now, I had cubes at school. They're colored Unifix cubes that we use when we're teaching place value. But, I mean, you can use whatever. If you're outside, get you some sticks. Somebody has long sticks, somebody has a short sticks, whatever. Is the point is to have fun but make it engaging. So someone has to be X, somebody has to be O, right? In typical tic-tac-toe. Well, I didn't have X's and O's for the kids, so you have to be innovative. So what we did was we used colored cubes or Unifix cubes. So someone was yellow, someone was blue, someone was pink, someone was green, and the kids knew who went where based on the color. Make it simple. If you have crayons, use crayons. Say, I have these sets of colors or those sets of colors. Like, don't make it crazy. Just make it where you can understand it, your baby can understand it, and keep it moving. So let's say little Johnny says he wants to pick this one. Then he would say B, and he would place his object on that letter. And then you would go and you would say, for example, E, eh, and you would place yours down, and it would go back and forth. And all that's happening is that they think that they're playing a game, but in reality, they are learning through play. They're learning through engagement, and it keeps their attention. They're like, "Oh yeah, let's play another round."
Word. Man. We won. It was a tie.
Excitement like this is what we're looking for. Especially for a younger child, you alert sometimes and stay focused. So getting their bodies moving will definitely help. Now, let's just say that's for a child that's 3 or 4. Okay? Now, if they're in elementary and they're below like 2nd grade, then things that you're going to be working on are word families. And I'm looking down, but I'm going to show you another example. What you want to work on are like word families, sight words. So I'll show you an example of both in an actual image, and then I'll also show you right here on the notepad. So word families are like those Dr. Seuss words like at, cat, bat, hit, bit, sit. Those are word family words, and they're words that students need to be able to recognize very quickly. You'll get the gist of what I'm saying. So in the middle of it, I'll just pick the at family. It's one of the easiest families that kids will learn. So this time, let's say that the students were outside with you. Now they're in elementary school, and so I was teaching 1st graders, 2nd graders, 3rd graders, and I gave them the chalk. After I drew the actual board, they kind of struggle with drawing the board, but after I drew the board, I told them you need to pick 4 words to put down, because they were doing it with their partner or the person they were playing with. So their partner put down like 4, the other person put down 4, and then whoever was left over filled in what needed to be filled in, basically. So like if I was talking about the at family, then you would fill in the tic-tac-toe board with different at words. And the whole point, again, is trying to teach that concept, but they're doing it through play. If they're like in 2nd or 3rd grade, these words are super easy. 1st graders could do this, but you would take sight words. So if your school, if your child's school or the kid you're mentoring sent a list of words, then use those words in the tic-tac-toe board. If you're outside and you have a big old slab of concrete, then you can make multiple boards. So you play a 1st round, 2nd round, 3rd round, and you just keep going. If I wanted to, I could be doing this with math. Literally, they could do the board if they were in kindergarten and you wanted them to work on doubles, for example. Then you could, instead of doing words, put math problems. So when the kid says, I want to go here, they would say 1 + 2 is 3. And they would drop it. When it was your turn, you would say 3 + 3 is 3 + 3 is 6, and so on. So it's not just with reading, it's with math, but just thinking kind of outside the box and coming up with some fun things for the kids to do while they're learning. All right, so I'm going to insert and let you see the kids enjoying tic-tac-toe.
Keyboard. Tree. Girl. Space. Hair. Wait. Hair. Yes.
Did y'all get it?
Mm-hmm. Look.
Whoa. All right, they got it.
Yeah.
All right, go collect your colors. Thank you for joining in today's Table Talk session. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. See you next time here on our next Table Talk session.